Alright, here's another one. This Kevin Samuels clip takes the conversation a bit deeper, so let's just get straight into it.
What's going on? Loyal follower. Appreciate it, Chica. Hey, how are you, ma'am?
Hello, I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Your first name?
Alicia.
Okay. It's kind of dark in there.
I know. Okay, I went to the store and
Just
I
do okay.
pulled over.
So how old are you?
42.
Okay. Can you get under the light a little bit more? Because it's
That's
really
what I'm going
dark.
to try to do. Hold
All
on.
right. So are you single? You married? What's going on?
Single, divorced.
All right. So I, the subject I'm talking about tonight is a delicate one. The one that women, older women, are just too hard to deal with.
Maybe
Um,
true.
how long you been divorced?
10 years.
Okay. What do you want as far as a relationship?
A lot.
Why?
Someone who understands that.
Before I ask you, before you that, I'm gonna ask you a couple of other follow-up questions. How much does a man need to earn annually for you to submit? Meaning, how much are you charging for your submission?
I don't want to put a numerical value on that.
Oh yeah, I do.
I mean, it's not black and white like that.
Yeah, it is. It very much is. If a man makes below a certain amount of money, he's out of contention. We're putting the value on it, or we move no further.
Okay, but I doubled my income in 10 years and a man can do the same thing, right? So if I said
I want you guys to understand, I just asked a question, and now what happens when women answer questions with questions, they're being disingenuous and deflect. Okay, ma'am, what I'm going to try to do is, okay,
okay, let
don't
me
do
stand
that with
here.
me.
There you
Huh?
go. 6 figures.
That can be 100,000 to 999,000.
Exactly.
Okay, last chance.
So minimum 100,000. So 6 figures.
You have any kids?
I do.
How many?
3.
How old is the youngest?
16.
What state do you live in?
California.
Okay, why would a man who makes 6 figures, what do men who are in the top 10% of earners typically want in a mate?
So your last person that you had on there said something that I believe is true. And I think that, and I know you disagree, but we are all different. And so some men want someone who respects them, honors them, and looks for the value in
I
them.
have almost 3 million followers, ma'am, and every day, men worldwide, what these men you ladies talk about, do you meet them in the real world?
No, because I'm too
Then I
busy
don't want
with.
to talk about it because they don't exist. They exist in your mind. So let's be adults and talk about the men that we know exist. Fair?
It's fair.
I mean, if your kid came up to you and you were asking about something and they said, well, mom, some people do it this way, you wouldn't accept that. So what do men who are high earners typically want in a mate?
Well, I said that they want to be respected, that they want to have common goals, share those goals, and kind of build together. And I feel that people of that caliber, men and women, myself
You need to get
included.
back on the light. I can't see you.
Oh, I said men in that caliber and women included, myself included, want that. We want to build with someone. We want someone to respect us, to understand that we were created with innate qualities that are unique to men and women, and that once we understand our roles and who we are, we can truly build
Who
together.
filed for divorce? You or your husband?
I'm sorry?
Who filed for divorce? You or your husband?
I did.
Huh? Why?
I did. because I was building and he was not working, and I couldn't
Man,
have a fourth child.
what man, is it typical for men who are age appropriate to want to get with a woman who's already has a prefabricated family?
It's tough. That's why I'm single.
No, that's not why. That's part of the reason. But the things you just said are the main reason. You're a modern woman. You're talking about goals and partnerships and this and that. That's not what these men want.
They don't want to be respected.
They want to be respected and admired, but they don't want the stuff you're talking about. Building and all that. No. Ma'am, these men want cooperation. And you ladies come in and you already have a plan of how it's supposed to be. And it didn't work with your husband or your baby daddies. And it's not going to work now.
Well, just for clarification, all three of my children were from my ex-husband that I divorced because he wasn't working. And you can only be with someone for so long to where you're like, I can't provide for 4 children. He was a 4th child. That's not fair. So don't.
Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian?
I am.
Okay.
Very proud.
What was that in the vows? For better, for worse, richer, for poor, and sickness and health, to death do you part. I didn't hear anything about if your wife stops working, you got to provide for her. I didn't hear anything about that.
Okay, so.
No, but I'm just saying, listen to the logic. If a wife stops working, does a husband divorce her because she can't make money?
That's not the only reason I divorced
No,
her.
ma'am, that's the reason you caved, ma'am. That's not, you're not answering the question. They answer our audiences. See, when they don't want to answer the questions. And the bottom line is, ma'am,
well,
because any man, okay, ma'am, if you're going to say you divorced him because he didn't work, did he have a job when you got married?
Yeah.
What was he doing?
He was working at a grocery store. I was 16 years old.
I don't care. You picked him.
Well, when you're 16.
That's what you picked, ma'am. That's what you picked. That's what you picked. That's what you
That's
picked.
why,
and you made 3 children with him.
I did,
And
but you don't know how they're
going to listen.
gonna.
I'm going to tell you right now, men at the caliber you're talking about don't like women who talk like you. Because you're talking about the father of your children and talking about respect. And they're going to look and see how you respect the man you created life with. And they're going to say, she didn't respect the man she gave the highest honor a woman can give. I'm out. After I hit the skins a few times. They'll tell you what they need to say to get the draws. They ain't going to get it. They ain't going to keep it. Because you don't respect the man you married.
That would be true if him not working was the only reason why I divorced him, but you don't know.
I don't care if it's the only reason. It's the reason you put up, and I'm not here to relitigate that. The point of the matter is, ma'am, you divorced your child's father, and you said because what you've spoken about mostly, ma'am, is your attainment. That's what you got. And that's what you talked about. I need a man who can do this, and I double my income. And men don't give one hot shit about any of that from you women, especially men on that socioeconomic level. They don't get with women at their level. The funny thing is, when a man is making money up here, do they frequently settle for women down here socioeconomically?
Not really.
You mean a man is up here socioeconomically? He marries a woman here too? Or is the woman that a man up here typically below him?
I would say with him.
And that's what I want you to understand. 40-year-old plus, they're just difficult to talk to. They got to be right. No, ma'am, they don't. Young women don't do this. Earners have always had to settle for people beneath them. And when men did it, it was supposed to be a man's role. Now that women fought for equality, fought for freedom, fought to be able to get out here and work, you don't want to do what comes along with being a higher earner. You still want traditional relationship, and you want your husband to keep up with your earning power when you didn't pick him based upon his earning power. Then you penalize it. And then men see this and they're like, this is why men don't deal with women in your age range. They don't get married. Because you talk about respect, and none of this is about respect. It's about your income.
It's definitely not about my income. And I didn't share personal reasons why I divorced my ex-husband, but let me tell you that
I don't want to hear anything else about your ex. Ma'am, I don't want to drag that man. I don't look.
So I kept that because I don't want to put him under the bus, and I don't think it's fair for me to talk.
I will tell you. I don't. Whoa. He's not here. You said you divorced him because he wasn't working. You made money a priority. Fine. You're not married to him anymore, and you still want to get a man up here. Fine. And what you said you bring to the table is somebody to build with. Build what?
You have goals in life, and you can build a life with someone to achieve those goals.
You're 42. How old do you think this man? How old do you think the man you're going to be with is?
Probably about 45, because I have dated younger men, and I'm like, nah, they're too immature. They don't know what they want.
How come do you date men that are 45, 50, who are higher earners than you?
Well, I haven't been dating in like 6
Do
years.
you date men who, if you can date younger, you can date older? Do you date men 45 to 50 who are at your socioeconomic level or higher? That's a yes or a no.
Yeah.
Then what's wrong with them?
I just can't find them.
No, excuse me. You just said you dated them.
No, I said I've only dated one person in 6 years.
Okay, so man, if you can date a younger person, see, physics says matter cannot occupy two different spaces. You occupied one space on a date with a younger person. You could have occupied that same space with the man that's on your level, but could you get them? And you said you can't find them. They do exist, but do they want to date you?
Where are they? I can't find them. They're not at church. They're not.
You know why? Because they don't want to. You want to hear the answer? I just answered the question, but your ego won't allow you. They don't want you. Men in this position. I've said this so many times. Men in this position make themselves invisible to you, to women like yourself. That's why you can't find them. They're hiding in plain sight because they see what women like you come with.
I don't know how you can determine that from 10 minutes of a couple questions.
Because I'm really good at what I do, and you're not special. I've been doing this for too long, and I talk to women that look better, make more every day, and this is a pattern. I
didn't say I was special in that.
No, but the bottom line, man, is you don't know how I can do it. Well, because I'm good at what I do.
And I'm not.
Man, and at the end of the day, you say you can't find them. If I put you in a room with these men, are you what they're looking for?
Possibly.
No.
It depends on the person.
No, it doesn't. See, that's why I keep telling you. You don't, so you mean to tell me you don't know these men, you don't know where they are, you don't know where to find them, but yet you do know what they want. Please explain.
I feel like if I had an opportunity to meet these men, which I went on a dating site for about a month and realized that this is not for me. I didn't even go on one single date. I was like, no, not because I think I'm better than them, but the people who are on there and what they're commenting and
you don't know them, you don't know where to go, you don't know where to meet them yet, but you say you know what they want. Please explain.
I'm just saying I have a hard time finding them.
But you say you know what they want. Please explain how you know what they want. When you don't know them, don't know where they go, and you don't know where to find them, you have not dated them. How do you know what they want?
I would say that the most positive qualities in a woman of my age
you're back in the light, man.
Are desirable.
Back in the light, man.
What's that?
Back in the light.
Oh, is this? better?
You don't know them, you don't know where they go, you don't know what they do, and you don't date them. Why do you think you know what they want? And you said most of the qualities of a woman my age. What is that?
No, that I'm saying that I possess, I would feel like would be desirable. Somebody who's stable with a fulfilling career, loves what they do, loves people, enjoys having a good time, being
Man,
adventurous.
please get back under the light. I'm trying not to be rude, man, but you keep on doing that.
Okay, well, I'm in my
Stay
car.
right there. Stay right there.
Here?
Right here.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
Loves what they do, fulfilling career. How many different times do I need to tell you? They don't care about that. They don't. And let me give you some examples. Here in Atlanta, I'm about to have a meeting with 30 black men, all who make $100,000 or more. I talk to men like this all the time. I have an attorney who found he's a $10 million attorney, met his wife in my group. And they don't lead with this. You are all about your job and your money, and they don't need that from you. So, ma'am, I need you to understand, you don't know these men because you can't find them. So that means you don't know, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, you don't know where they're at, you don't know what they want, and what you're saying is, I hope what I am is what they want because it's all I got. That's all I got to bring to the market. So I'm coming to the restaurant and I want steak, and all you got is vegetables. I don't care how you season these vegetables, how you try to sell them to me. I want steak, and you're trying to make me a vegan, a vegetarian. They don't want that.
Okay. What do they want?
They want women who are cooperative, fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless, easy to get along with. They want a woman who's there for them. You have to be split between arguably your career, the rest of your kids. So all you're going to have to offer a man who's at the top socioeconomically is part of your free time. Do you want to share? Do you mind? Do you want to share him? Are you okay with that?
No.
So you want a top earner to accept a divorcee with 3 kids. He gets no children from you. And all he gets is the part of your free time for 100% of his monogamy. Does that sound like a fair deal?
Yes.
In fucking sane.
To someone, to that lucky one.
No. Buy a dog and die alone, because you keep talking about someone, and we already established we weren't going to do that. But see, that's your ego. We've already established you don't know men like this in the real world. You keep talking about that lucky one. Why do you have to believe that that person exists? Why is that so critical to you?
I just had this conversation with a friend. We were talking about soulmates, which I don't believe that there's a soulmate, but I believe that there could be multiple soulmates, and that there's somebody that matches with me, that complements me, and that I complement. There's somebody out there for me, and I just haven't.
Somebody out there for you, but does he have everything that you want and the income included? See, that's the problem. You ladies, so that's the point. And
he's not going to be perfect.
Stop. You have bought into the Disney Hallmark fantasy of one-itis. And and the modern women are the only group of women, come back into the light, please, man.
Hold on, my car just kind of turned off a little bit. Hold on. Okay.
The only group of women who believe they should be able to be non-traditional women, get traditional provider males, bring those traditional provider males another man's children, and that traditional provider male has to share you with 1, 2, 3 kids and a job. And what does he get for becoming the hell of a man that he is? Part of your free time? Absolutely not. And this is why I want, like, ma'am, I talk to women like you every day. Okay? And what I'm trying to get you to understand is this is why you can't find these men. I said it at the beginning of this broadcast. older women are too difficult. And this is what I mean by difficult. You don't accept new information. You don't accept new information. You just keep hammering on what it is, and it's because I honestly think it's because you know the truth is out there. I honestly think you ladies really know the truth, and it terrifies you because you know that once your kids leave, you know who you are, and you know what your lifestyle is. You know who you are and what matches with that. And it looks like alone at the end.
I don't believe that. I believe God has that one for me. I really do.
Well, don't put my God into this because you're not choosing a man based on godly character. And right now, there are 600,000 more black women at this level than black men. So God did what? Don't make God God didn't do this. And that really bothers me when I hear women put this off on God. God has never promised one woman to every man. How many wives did Solomon have?
Okay, if you're going to go to Old Testament and talk about what
How do you get
happened,
7 billion people on the planet with monogamy, ma'am?
I'm just saying you can't use that argument.
I can use the argument that where in the world, any monetary system, any system of government, any continent, any time in history, have men in the top 10%, 3%, 5%, 1%, 0.1% been strictly monogamous? Where in history, on the planet?
That's the way it's supposed to be, and you know it.
It's not supposed to be that way.
Yeah, it is.
What's supposed to, no, I think it's funny, man. The women like yourself talk about supposed to be, and you're the biggest supposed to be. You're supposed to do your part. But just like Eve was rebellious, you are. That's the problem. It's not what men are supposed to be, it's what women are supposed to be.
Because you want to date multiple women? And
Your issue's not him dating multiple women. You honestly, ma'am, the woman I talked to tonight, you'll be fortunate to even find this guy because you can't find him. But then you got the nerve to say something you can't find that's very rare. Then you want to put restrictions on it? Well, would you rather have part of him or a whole nothing?
So you want me to share a man with another woman, and you think that that's going to be a respectful, like submissive?
Well, I'll tell you what I do want. What I do want is I want women like you to understand that you already came into this relationship and you shared your womb with a man 3 times. A man is sharing you with your 3 children, your job, and all of your responsibilities and the life you've built. He has nothing to do with that. And all he gets for his monogamy, commitment, and everything else, he doesn't get children. He doesn't get his legacy. That is an unfair deal. I would rather this man go get a young wife and start his own family. And then a woman like you, excuse me, because look, just like you're proud of your accomplishments, he should get something for his too. That's fair, right?
I really want him to be happy. Yeah.
Happy is not having to raise another man's children. Man, how much time do you really have to dedicate? A man wants a woman's time. You don't have a lot. So how in good faith can you expect to get a man who's at the top 10, 3, 1% and give him what part of your free time? If you had a son who was a man in the top 3% and he came home and said, Mom, appreciate you for putting me through Ivy League school. I became an attorney. Appreciate all this. And the man I become now, I'm dating this woman. Now, she has this job, and da-da-da-da. All she has is a couple hours for me, a few hours a week. But I'm going to be loyal and committed to her. You'd say, yes, son, do that. I don't get any children out of it. You'd say, yes, son, that's what I raised you to be.
Yeah, I would, because if he loves her, then I don't need grandchildren from him. If he loves her, then that's enough for me. That would be enough. And I don't have a couple hours. I have more
It
than
will be enough that I want you guys to this is why average at best was so good, because y'all don't give a shit about your sons. Because you're talking about love. I'm talking about is that a balance? You
But
don't love him. Well, don't you? You should want the best for your son. Is that the best? You get what's left of a woman, ma'am. Your role on the planet is my support system, and get it straight. The reason you can't get with men like me is because I won't accept women like me. We won't, because we demand you be in your place, because we have to be in our place. We're not negotiating with you. This is a conversation, but men don't negotiate this.
I'm just saying I want him to come first. So
they want what?
I want his happiness to come first, not be with somebody that can just produce babies and he ain't happy. What's the point of that?
Ma'am, the point is the fact that he doesn't even have a whole woman. You want a man's whole commitment. Can you give him your whole self?
Well, if he's divorced with kids.
Can you? No, if he's divorced, I asked you, do you, excuse me, 51% of men are single and child, 54% of men, black men are single and childless. Most men don't have kids. Can you give a man your whole self?
I believe I can.
You can't, ma'am. You're too, man, you're 42. And I'm about to end this conversation because this is why, but I'm showing you guys something, why guys at this level don't date older women. Because you're resistant to the truth. You won't accept new information, new ideas. Man, what you're asking for made more sense when you were in your 20s, single and childless.
I had children in my 20s. I started young.
And part of your problem is, and part of your issue is, ma'am, you can say whatever, and here's what I want you to understand. There's a difference between me and you. I know and talk to these men worldwide every day. 10 toes down, I know what they want. You can't even meet them. So who knows better what they want? You or me?
I asked you what they wanted, and you said.
And I told you they don't want this.
Well, I want to know what they want, but it seemed like you didn't have a great answer. Somebody who submits. That's what you said. Somebody who submits.
Cooperative, submissive, childless. You lose on the child right there. They don't want somebody. Okay, they don't want somebody else's kids. They don't want somebody who's committed to a career. They don't want a woman who is full of masculine energy. This is all you. You have kids, you're committed to a career, and you are hella masculine. That aggression, whatever helps you in your career, does not help you in interpersonal relationships, especially with men who run shit, who got their stuff together. So it makes sense that you said you got with a guy who was beneath you, you still had his babies. And a man looks at who you had a kid with, and he says, how am I going to take you to the partner meeting, and your ex-husband is this, and I'm a junior partner, I'm a director. They look at your pedigree. And why can't you get with an average man?
I can, but
an average man earns $41,000 a year. Can you live at his lifestyle?
Southern California income is different.
No, it's not, man. It's the national average, and I'm in California often.
Give me some SoCal salaries. We can do 60.
Give him some SoCal woman.
Well,
that's why I want you to understand this. I want you to understand that the smile to hold back the frustration, because, man, the reality is, I was just in LA 2 weeks ago. I'll be back then. The competition is fierce out there. Why would somebody have to? Why would this man, if he could, let's do it your way. He has to be monogamous. He's only going to deal with one woman. Then that means he needs to get a woman that can have his children and dedicate all of her time to him. Not a woman who has kids, not a woman who has committed to a career, because he's not getting what he's worth.
So you don't think there's men who are divorced with kids that are okay with women having children? You've generalized that a man wants a childless woman. Like, did you know
the men you want don't? The men at the level you talking about typically don't want a woman with kids. And And what they do want is fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless. How tall are you?
5'9".
Dress size.
Between a 2 and a 5. I'm about 4 right now.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
150, 148.
Friendly.
What's that?
Are you friendly?
People tell me I'm friendly, so I'm gonna assume yeah.
Are you feminine?
Yes, I think so, very much so.
Cooperative?
Yeah, because I compromise a lot.
Compromise is not cooperation.
Well, I just feel like having children made me.
You keep telling me what you feel like. Either you're cooperative or you're not.
Yeah, I'm cooperative.
Submissive?
Yeah, I believe I have a role to do as a woman, and it's important that I fulfill that because
Ma'am, nothing you've described today about what you want to do with a man is a submissive woman.
I told you that we all were created with roles, and I feel like
ma'am, stop the count. Nothing you've described is a woman who's cooperative or submissive and childless. So you may have the fit component, the femininity. You may look like a girl, but your software is male. If I ask you what makes you who you are, what you bring to the market, what do you bring to these men, tell them what you have to offer them, and don't talk about your education or your income.
I mean, I think I'm
What
funny,
do you bring? Don't.
witty. I said I'm funny. You're funny. I said I think I'm funny, witty. I enjoy a good time. I feel like I respect individuals for who they are, what they bring, and I like a good time.
Of course you do.
I like
most career women do. You like to be entertained, but none of that. Okay. Can you cook?
Mm-hmm.
You have a cookbook?
Say that again?
You got a cookbook?
I have a few and recipes
Who
for
cook? Do you cook? How often do you cook?
Because of our schedule
How
right
often do
now,
you cook?
it's like twice a week.
So they cook twice a day. All right, ma'am.
No,
like I said, I asked you, what would you bring to a table and take away your income, your education, and your career? And ma'am, that was pretty thin. Okay, pretty thin. So what it comes right down to is you may be a woman like you, ma'am, I would think might fit what would be considered to be an executive wife. But what's really going to hamper women like yourself is you don't have to scream. You don't have to yell. You don't have to be vulgar. You don't have to be crass. But you have a very stubborn, hard, strict, masculine way of looking at things. And then you factor in this, everybody has a role. You're not playing a woman's role. What you describe is much more partners, equality, mutual respect, and all that other kind of stuff. And that's cool. But then you want a man who's on a different level, and these men want more traditional wives. And they're going to get them because you don't even meet these guys. And these guys have hundreds, thousands of women after them. And you've got to understand, you're competing with the women around him. So even if I put you in a room with men who are at that level, divorced, some with kids, some without kids, they all tend to want the same thing. They don't want to raise another man's kids. They don't want to pay for another man's kids. Because this is hard for women to hear, but your children, they're a liability to a man, not an asset. And he is going to have to put some money into your children, straight up, and then he doesn't get his own kids. So I don't understand why women over 40 don't understand that they got to start taking stuff off of their list. And sharing is the least of it. When have men, you're a corporate America, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm
What do you do for a living?
sorry?
What do you do for a living?
I said I'm a math teacher
Where?
in San Dimas.
Huh?
In San Dimas.
What's your highest level of education?
I have 2 master's degrees.
I'm a PhD.
Then the math ain't on your side. The math's not on your side. The men at that level are just in short supply. And they're gonna get what they want. And no offense, man, but that's a very high standard for a teacher.
Well, I gave you that 6-figure because we're in Southern California, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't date someone who makes 60 or 70 or 80,000. But we're like,
But ma'am, but you may date them, but I do what I do for a reason. You won't give them the respect that you would give a provider male. And just like that younger man, you could, ma'am, 2 masters and a math degree, you wouldn't respect the $60,000 a year man. Women like you don't even respect blue collar men who make more than you. And if you can say, well, I would, you won't live at his lifestyle. And he can't afford to live at your lifestyle. And that's where it falls apart, people, on the lifestyle. You can date, but where does he live and where do you live? You can't go to Mastro's on Tuesday. Outback is as good as it's going to get, and that's once a month, maybe. You live on a Buffalo Wild Wings, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, middle class life. And that ain't you. And the men that are up here, the ones you can't meet, they have their business or the company that they work for. They've got an assistant, which is called a work what? A work wife. Right. They got a wife at home that gave their legacy. They got a work wife. Most have a mistress. Many have a side chick. And the wife at home knows about it.
yeah, you're describing a lot of men, and that's why a lot of us women are single. Maybe I need to date outside my race. I've never done Maybe I
date outside of your race. Why do you think men of a different culture are going to be different than the men of your culture? And why do you think the women over there are going to let you take their men?
I'm just saying to have more in the pool.
There is no more, no.
Smaller.
Men, the higher up men go, the more race loyal men are. Why do you think high level men of a different race or culture think any differently?
I don't think they think differently, but I'm just trying to have more in the pool, like I said.
Okay, what races are we talking about?
I'm just saying, like, I've only dated black. So, for example,
black men are the easiest men to get along with. You start talking about Hispanic, white, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, Asian, or other, they are far more patriarchal, far more restrictive.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying like maybe somebody just white or Arabic or whatever. I don't know.
They are more restrictive. They are more traditional. You're only going to get more of this, not less. What do you think this
white?
Okay.
You think white men
are more
restrictive?
Excuse me?
You think white? Let's just not talk about
patriarchy. Yes.
Let's just say just white. Period. Okay.
Yes.
You think they're more restrictive and more traditionalist?
Yes.
I'm a traditionalist. I want to.
Ma'am, if you were to, no.
I want to please a man. I want.
Oh my God. First of all, yes. The answer is yes. You don't know what the French toast you're talking about. Are they more? Yes. This is where it comes from. Black men have the lowest standards and are the easiest to get along with. So, and here's another thing. Stop. You're too old to be thinking this way. And why do you think you can take yourself over to white America and Becky's gonna just let you have her husband? Becky was raised to work with Brad. And she ain't gonna let your ass come on there and take it.
All I'm saying is, when I go on a dating site and I click black,
I don't care about a dating site, man. I talk about the real world. The kind of people we're talking about don't go on dating sites, man. I don't want to hear any shit about that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So you don't think I could increase my chances of being with somebody if I opened up to myself to more races and stop being so restrictive?
No. Because you think so what you're asking me is, if I increase the amount of people in the pool, how do you think that impacts the probability of success?
Because I have more options.
No, math. Do the math.
I am. That's why.
It does not increase your probability of success. It just means you got more to fail from. Because you still got to. Okay, ma'am, I'm about to be done with this. And that's why I did this so long, folks, because I want you to understand that a double mastered math teacher woman, and you're black.
I told you I was biracial.
Biracial. I want you to. What are your parents?
I have a black dad and a white mother.
Okay, cool. I want you to understand that this is why you don't date. It's a mindset. You resist new information. They're going to try to make it work. Man, you don't, this whole dating out stuff, men are more race loyal than women. How is he going to bring you around his family and kids? It's like, hi, here's my wife. That ain't how that works. And then the funny thing is, they are more traditional.
Which is what I want.
White men, Hispanic men, Middle Eastern, Asian, far more traditional. Because they weren't raised by mama.
That's what I want, because that's what I am.
But no, you're not.
I'm a traditionalist.
All right. You're deluded. But you are. You really are. You really are deluded. Because you can say you can say this, and I want you guys to understand. Look at the sincerity in her eyes. You can't produce the results.
I mean, according to you, I can't.
Ma'am, you can't produce the result. You can't even produce a date with one of these men at this level. That's the results. If you can't produce, you have not been able to produce one date with one man at this level, don't tell me you can date them and secure and marry them. Deal with the reality.
All right, let's talk about this. You've got a 42-year-old divorced woman who admits she left her husband back at 32 because she believed she could level up and eventually get a higher earning man who would treat her like a queen. In her mind, the next chapter of life was supposed to be bigger, better, richer, more luxurious, more exciting. She thought leaving the marriage would open the door to elite men, elite treatment, and the kind of lifestyle she felt she truly deserved. But as Kevin Samuels starts asking questions, the reality slowly starts collapsing. Because despite all these expectations about high-value men, she admits she has never even seriously interacted with men at that level, never dated them, never moved in those circles, never built relationships around those environments. Her entire vision is built more on fantasy, social media, and imagination than actual experience. And Kevin immediately checks the disconnect. Because wanting a high-earning man is easy. Millions of women want that. But high-value men operate in completely different realities, different standards, different expectations, different lifestyles, and most importantly, they have options. That's the part she never fully thought through. Because while she imagined a wealthy man arriving to rescue her from an average marriage, those same men were usually choosing women who already fit naturally into their world. Women with beauty, youth, cooperation, social awareness, peace, femininity, and low complication.